There's a Firefly base close by. Be careful and stick together.
Sons of bitches.
While we're still waiting for some more news on the upcoming DLC for The Last of Us, Naughty Dog came out with a patch last week which did add a new online game mode to keep people interested. This comes in addition to the standard team deathmatch and elimination-esque modes. The new mode is called Interrogation and puts a rather unique twist on proceedings, expanding the gameplay away from just out-and-out murder. The round will start off business as usual, with 2 teams of 4 facing off against each other on the familiar maps which launched with the game, and set about killing one another as quickly as possible. However, the twist here is that you want to get the special executions a lot more than before. These are now branded as interrogations, and if you successfully get to the end of your animation, then one of the 5 pieces of intel will go into the meter on the left. Once you've got all 5 pieces, you can then go and try and find and open a lockbox which has got, I don't know, maybe some cake in it or something. Note that there are 5 interrogations needed, which does mean that a full team wipeout can't scupper one side right at the beginning of a match, and they will always have a chance to respawn, maybe get their feet underneath them and find their own interrogations to get their own lockbox search underway. It's one of a few little touches which manage to keep the game quite level at all times. If you are behind, for example, then when you're defending your safe and it's been discovered, you know where they're coming to, and you can set up defences and get your own interrogations up to speed very quickly. Breaking into the safe itself is as simple as sitting next to it and waiting for the 3 segments to fill up. If you die or have to break off before a segment is completed, then it resets back to the last one, but that just means that you don't have to do the whole thing in one go. It's always important to work as a team throughout, so that you stick together at the start of a round, but then switch to some of you attacking and some of you defending in the second half. Or maybe you just have one person who sneaks around behind the other team. There are, however, a few problems with this game mode, and I hope the Naughty Dog will try to address them in a patch or internal update later on. The simplest for them to get right is the spawn point problem, where on the checkpoint map in particular, the spawn point nearest to the safe at one end is really close to it. It means that there's almost an endless stream of guys who just have to run forwards like 5 meters and they can shoot straight at the safe cracker through a door. Once the safes have been discovered, the spawn point is now a static entity, so it means that it could also be quite rife for spawn camping when you've got a particularly ruthless and dominating team. And that brings me to my next point, which is the way that people play this game mode, and something which Naughty Dog can't really do anything about. On day 1, this mode was an absolute joy to play, and everyone was still finding out how the mode worked, and I found some really close matches through this. But hopping back in yesterday, I found that people were using it more like Uncharted's Capture the Treasure mode. They were just using it as a way of having infinite lives, running down the clock to absolute zero whilst playing a pseudo-team deathmatch. This mixed with the people defending just chucking down improvised trip mines everywhere, it just makes it not as much fun to play as it was on the first day. And even though my team, with me and Badachi and Top Gear Sam, we did break through and unlock a third of the safe, we were only awarded a draw as opposed to a full win. But in spite of these little flaws, it's still a really good game mode when you've got 2 teams that want to play it for what it is. If you enjoyed The Last of Us multiplayer before, then this is definitely worth checking out. And it is, after all, completely free. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you've enjoyed this little tour of the game mode. Let us know what you think of it, or if this has inspired you to go back into the game in the comments below. Now all we have to wait for is Naughty Dog's DLC announcement.